Hi, welcome back to English for Nursing 2. After we learned about respiratory system, now we are going to discuss about digestive system. Let's check it out. Digestive system is a group of organs working together to convert food into energy and basic nutrients to feed the entire body. Digestive system consists of two main parts: gastrointestinal tract or GI tract and accessory organs. Gastrointestinal tract or GI tract is a long tube inside the body where the food passes through it during the digestive process. This tract is made up of the oral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestines, and anus. While accessory organs are organs that help the process of digestion but were not passed by the food. Accessory organs of the digestive system include the teeth, tongue, salivary glands, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. To achieve the goal of providing energy and nutrients to the body, 6 major functions take place in the digestive system. They are ingestion, secretion, mixing and movement, digestion, absorption, and excretion. The first function of digestive system is ingestion or intake of food, the intake of the food into the body. Then the second function is secretion. Secretion means the production of fluid in our body, and the digestive system secretes around 7 liters of fluid in a day. These fluids include saliva, mucus, hydrochloric acid, enzymes, and bile. The third function is mixing and movement. The digestive system uses 3 main processes to move and mix food. The first is swallowing. Swallowing is the process of using smooth and skeletal muscles in the mouth, tongue, and pharynx to push food out of the mouth, through the pharynx and into the esophagus. And second, peristalsis. Peristalsis is muscular wave that travels the length of the GI tract, moving partially digested food a short distance down the tract. It takes many waves of peristalsis for food to travel from the esophagus, through the stomach and intestine and reach the end of the GI tract. And then the third process is segmentation. Segmentation occurs only in the small intestine as short segments of intestine contract like hands squeezing a toothpaste tube. And the next function is digestion. Digestion is the process of turning large pieces of food into its component chemicals. There are 2 processes of digestion: mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. Mechanical digestion is the physical breakdown of large pieces of food into smaller pieces, while chemical digestion begins in the mouth with salivary amylase in saliva splitting complex carbohydrates into simple carbohydrates. The enzymes and acid in the stomach continue chemical digestion, but the bulk of chemical digestion takes place in the small intestine thanks to the action of the pancreas. And the next function is absorption. Once food has been reduced to its building blocks, it's ready for the body to absorb. Absorption begins in the stomach with simple molecules like water and alcohol being absorbed directly into the bloodstream. Most absorption takes place in the walls of the small intestine, which are densely folded to maximize the surface area in contact with digested food. The last function is excretion. Excretion of waste in process known defecation. Excretion also known as defecation. Defecation removes indigestible substance from the body so that they do not accumulate inside the gut. Those are the functions of digestive system. It includes ingestion, secretion, mixing and movement, digestion, absorption and excretion. Next, we are going to discuss about the organ and the function. Please have a look at the picture. What is picture number 1? It's salivary glands. Salivary glands or salivary glands. Number 2 is esophagus. Esophagus. Next, number 3, it is stomach. Stomach. And number 4, it's large intestine. Large intestine. And number 5, it is small intestine. Small intestine. And then number 6, it's rectum. Rectum. Number 7, it's anus. Anus. Number 8, under the stomach, it is pancreas. Pancreas. And then small organ under the liver, it is a gallbladder. 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 And the last organ is liver. Liver. Okay, now let's discuss about these organs in detail one by one. Start from teeth. Teeth. Teeth are organs inside the mouth that mechanically break down food into small pieces. While tongue. Tongue is also located inside the mouth and the function is to mix food with saliva. Mix food with saliva and then push the food to go to the pharynx. The next organ is salivary glands. Humans have 3 paired major salivary glands. They are parotid, submandibular, and sublingual, as well as hundreds of minor salivary glands. And salivary glands can be classified as serous, mucous, and seromucous. In cereal secretion, the main type of protein secreted is alpha amylase, an enzyme that breaks down starch into maltose and glucose. Whereas in mucous secretion, the main protein secreted is mucin, which acts as a lubricant. Okay. Next, it's esophagus. Esophagus is an organ that moves food from the throat to the stomach using muscle movement. The esophagus is muscular tube connecting the pharynx to the stomach that is part of the upper gastrointestinal tract. It carries swallowed masses of chewed food along its length. At the inferior end of the esophagus is a muscular ring called the lower esophageal sphincter or cardiac sphincter. The function of this sphincter is to close off the end of the esophagus and trap food in the stomach. Let's discuss about the stomach. Stomach is an organ that breaks down food into smaller pieces. The stomach itself is a muscular sac that is located on the left side of the abdominal cavity, just inferior to the diaphragm. In an average person, the stomach is about the size of their 2 fists placed next to each other. This major organ acts as a storage tank for food so that the body has time to digest large meals properly. The stomach also contains hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes that continue the digestion of food that began in the mouth. Okay, from the stomach, the food will go to the small intestine. Small intestine is an organ that absorbs nutrients from food. Small intestine is made up of 3 segments. They are duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. The small intestine is a long tube loosely coiled in the abdomen. Spread out, it would be more than 20 feet long. The small intestine continues the process of breaking down food by using enzymes released by the pancreas and bile from the liver. Bile is a compound that aids in the digestion of fat and eliminates waste products from the blood. While peristalsis or contraction is also at work in this organ, moving food through and mixing it up and with digestive secretions. Then the duodenum is largely responsible for continuing the process of breaking down food, with the jejunum and ileum being mainly responsible for the absorption of nutrients into the bloodstreams. Okay, after the food is absorbed in the small intestine, then the material that cannot be absorbed will be sent to large intestine. So, large intestine is an organ that accepts what cannot be absorbed by small intestine. The colon or large intestine is a 6-foot long muscular tube that connects the small intestine to the rectum. The large intestine is made up of the cecum, the ascending colon, the transverse colon, the descending colon, and the sigmoid colon, which connects to the rectum. The appendix is a small tube attached to the cecum. The large intestine is a highly specialized organ that is responsible for processing waste so that emptying the bowels is easy and convenient. And next, at the end of this large intestine, there is rectum. Rectum is an organ that receives stool from large intestine. Okay, next, anus. Anus. Anus is an organ that releases stool from the body. So the stool will be stored in the rectum and then on the right time it will be released from the body through the anus. Next, so now let's discuss about the accessory organ. The first is pancreas. Pancreas is an organ that produces digestive enzymes and regulates blood sugar. Pancreas is a large gland located just inferior and posterior to the stomach. It is about 6 inches long and shaped like a short, lumpy snake with its head connected to the duodenum and its tail pointing to the left wall of the abdominal cavity. Pancreas produces enzymes to break down protein, fat, and carbohydrates from the food we eat. Okay, the small green organ is gallbladder. Okay, this is gallbladder. It is an organ to store bile. The gallbladder is a pear-shaped reservoir that sits just under the liver and stores bile. Bile is made in the liver, then if it needs to be stored, it travels to the gallbladder through a channel called the cystic duct. During a meal, the gallbladder contracts, sending bile to the small intestine. Well, next, the last organ is liver. Liver is an organ that produces bile. Liver is a roughly triangular accessory organ of the digestive system located to the right of the stomach, just inferior to the diaphragm and superior to the small intestine. The liver weighs about 3 pounds and is the second largest organ in the body. The liver has many different functions in the body, but the main function of the liver in digestion is the production of bile and its secretion into the small intestine. Well, that's all about the organs of digestive system and also the function. Is there any question? You may give question and or share your ideas or opinion freely on the forum or chat group. Thank you very much for your attention. See you next time.